I do not own the music that will be playing in the background during this literary report on pre-rock era. Okay, so let's get started. The deepest, bluest roots of modern music. At the roots of every modern genre lies the intricate map of soul, struggle, and sophisticated art. In order to understand the aesthetics of the Mississippi Legends groundwork that paved the way for music we hear today, we must delve into the roots of the pre-1950 era. This exploration of the pre-rock era is discussed here through three revered lenses: the raw historic foundation of Ted Gioia, Chris Thomas King's perspective of urban culture, and the vital academic blueprint of Catherine Charlton. Collectively, these authors help paint a vivid, tangible portrait of the blues, how the blues served as a global precursor of all post-blues music and musicians. Firstly, the exploration of Ted Gioia in his well-illustrated book, Delta Blues. Gioia does more than list dates. He resurfaced the shore of the Mississippi's masters from the tidal waves of folklore. His contributions allow us to visualize pioneers like Robert Johnson and Son House as revolutionary chefs, and their art as tender roasts prepared in a pressure cooker of those times' hardships. Gioia's dedication to capturing the essence of these trailblazing storylines allowed the heat of the Delta to be felt in music today. He accurately pinpoints the birth of the soul to a revolutionary conception straight out of the mud of the plantations. The technical term bottleneck slide and the rhythmic technique thumping of the guitar that mirrors a heartbeat, Gioia conveys how these legends created a dialect of musical rebellion. This mechanical pulse was highlighted and heightened by the introduction of the electrical guitar and ribbon microphone. These innovations enabled the transition heartbeat described by Joel from a private setting to the loud urban environment of the jukebox. During the 1940s, the direction of music began to navigate toward a unique landscape of creativity as it traveled north. Here we must praise Chris Thomas King for his contributions to this history. King challenges the traditional view of the blues by framing it as high art rather than just primitive folk music. His narrative highlights the intelligent and professional skill of New Orleans musicians, noting that Mississippi legends worked alongside sophisticated brass bands and pianists. Ultimately, King's perspective shows the pre-rock era was a period of significant musical intelligence into significant musical intellectualism. The transition to urban settings added a sophisticated layer of professionalism, launching the blues towards a global audience. These musicians were more than just natural talents. They were ambitious professionals who mastered the complexities of performance. The ninth edition of Catherine Charlton rocks music styles and the glue to bond these three individual texts on pre-rock and rock and roll and the era of music. Excuse me. The ninth edition of Catherine Charlton's rock music styles is the glue to bond these individual texts on the pre-rock and roll era of music. Catherine Charlton's work serves as the vital link between the raw emotion and high art of the genre. In rock music styles, she deconstructs the technical elements. Like, for instance, what I'm getting ready to play in the background, the 12-bar blues, to reveal how the echoes of the Delta hollers became the organized musical foundation we recognize today. Before the era of electrification, music possessed a foundational structure, one that she eloquently describes, the recurring AAB lyric pattern, just that combines with specific chord progression serves as a melodic roadmap, enabling musicians to harmonize seamlessly even upon their first meeting. This framework ensured that the music could be preserved through generations and eventually transcend cultural boundaries. The legendary Muddy Waters, the musician that we hear in the background, by the way, the legendary Muddy Waters stands as a quintessential embodiment of this legacy. His odyssey from the Stovall plantations to the bustling streets of Chicago mimics the great migration of music itself, a transformative epoch where millions of African Americans journeyed from the agrarian South to the industrial North, carrying the rich tapestry of their culture with them. In Muddy Waters' formative years, Gio influenced in his raw acoustic slide guitar. As he moved to the city, we see King's influence in his professional band leading and his collection of urban sophistication. Lastly, we see Charlton's influence on how Muddy used the 12-bar structure for the foundation to his sound. Muddy Waters is proof that all three of these authors are telling parts of the same incredible story. Muddy Waters channeled the sound of the Deep South and prepared it for a modern world, and in the same motion stayed true to the legends who came before him. As this literary document about the pre-rock era is concluding, the praise to these three authors for how they acknowledge this era in music is certainly due. Ted Gioia illuminates the eccentric pain and the individual passion of that era. Thomas Charlton honors the culture and depth and communal sophistication, and Captain Charlton underscores the structural elevation of the music itself. Collectively, these insights demonstrate that the legends of the Mississippi Delta did more than just merely perform. They established a perpetual foundation. By the dawn of the 1950s, the raw, visceral soul of the Mississippi blues and the sophisticated published arrangements of Louisiana jazz had coalesced into a formidable force poised to redefine the global cultural landscape forever.